of 11 dudes on defense, Seamus, that I think are going to break out.
Let's see it.
Now, Seamus, can you guess where I'm going to go?
I'm going to go ahead and guess linebacker.
Yeah. I'm going Peyton Wilson, outside linebacker. This dude is 6'4", 240, Seamus, and he runs a 4.43. Yeah, absolutely.
He's a monster.
Dog. Yeah, dude. Here's the PFF breakdown. They have him six. It's a little cut off here. Let me see if I can fix that. But 16. Yeah, there you go. 16th was his overall grade. 74 was his grade this last year. This dude has the potential to break out. He could play Mike or outside linebacker. I did put him at outside linebacker because I like who we have at Mike.
Yeah, and you got to feel good that he's a Steeler too, because it just feels like they always have great defensive players.
I like him more than Patrick Queen, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I know Queen's more of a veteran, and I love watching those training camp videos of them going against the running backs. And, dude, Queen had a rough go at defeating the blocks. But
yeah, and this dude just seems like such an instinctual player. Anytime I've seen him or seen any highlights of him, like he's just a perfect linebacker.
He's always hitting.
Yeah.
Which goes right into my next guy,
Overshown.
Everybody loves Overshown, dude. If you were paying attention before he tore every ligament in his freaking knee, dude, like people were getting excited about this dude. First guy to the ball. That was what was exciting about the Cowboys was this guy, but it was also a little scary because I saw him beating guys laterally.
Yeah.
Like he was beating the other outside linebacker to that guy's side of the ball.
Yeah.
That's concerning. But it's really good for him. This dude plays hard and fast. I think he'll come back from the injury pretty good, and he'll be the next guy that Jerry's freaking out having to pay, man. Honestly, that dude. I'll go into his grade here real quick. Obviously, he was hurt, but PFF's grading him off the snaps he did play. It wasn't a lot. What is it? 700, a little over 700. His grade on those snaps wasn't that good, but dude, he played everywhere. Like slot, he played slot. They even have him at wide corner. He's a smaller dude. He's a smaller dude in the box, but dude, he fits the gap like freaking our next guy on the list.
Yeah, that dude's a dog, especially him and Micah being together. That's something that I think all Cowboys fans can get excited about, at least on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and dude, if I could pair these three guys up that I have right here, I'll let this one blank, man, because I want you to guess who I might have at Mike.
Okay.
The guy who fits the gap. Man, I can't even let you guess, man. It's Spillane, bro. This dude, have you seen the clip of him fitting the run on Derrick Henry?
Yeah. Dude. On the goal line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This dude is a Vrabel guy now. I love having this guy at the heart of the breakout defense. He's going to be fitting gaps, flying all around the football. This was my Zach Bond of my defense. Stepping in old, he's 29, but dude, Zach Bond has proved that you can break out whenever. Like that dude's season was incredible, and Spillane's wasn't even that bad. And you could see the growth. I know he had a drop off here compared to 2023, but you guys can take a glance at any stats that I'm missing here. But as far as the thing that stands out the most is his run grade, his run D.
Yeah. He just seems like a guy all the fellas can rally around on defense. Like he's probably working hard first in, last out, real lunch pail type of guy. And I think that him coming together with Vrabel, they'll probably instill a culture in New England, which I don't like to see because I'm a Bills guy, but I think him, and dude, look how wide his neck is.
Yeah, dude.
Are you shitting me right now? What?
Dude, that's never been concussed
How
in
do you
his
even
life.
achieve that? How do you even achieve a neck that wide right there?
That's the neck you need to hit stick Derrick Henry, Seamus.
Yeah.
So the next guy on my list, he's kind of, I would say he's already broken out, but his ceiling for next year is exciting to anticipate, and it's Quinyon Mitchell. Darius Slay to the Steelers. Really, really quick. They actually have Cooper DeJean on PFF as a number 1 corner.
Really?
In football, yeah. Which, if you're thinking as far as being well-rounded, he's in the slot more too, so he's able to be in the run game.
Yeah. You want to talk about a hard worker? That's Cooper DeJean.
Hell yeah, exciting whites. That's what that is. But out wide, this is going to be your guy on the wide receiver ones, and he could either break out Seamus or he could be a flop. But I don't think he's going to flop, honestly.
I don't either. I think I really like this right here.
Yeah,
it just feels like the Eagles. This is typical. This is something we talked about and had in our mock draft, them trading up from Malachi Starks. But of course, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean fall to him, and they make the right pick. And I really think this is good right here. I just enjoyed watching him play football last year. He was all over the place, and he's fast too. That's one thing that I remember. I think he ran a pretty fast 40, but it feels like he plays the game fast and like a real CB1 type of thing.
Yeah, and there's over 1,060 snaps right there at the wide corner.
Yeah, and he played in the Super Bowl. He played in the bright light, so
he did.
Really seems like he's probably,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's funny too because he came from Toledo, such a Maction. Shout out to Mac, but
yeah,
like coming from Toledo and performing at such a high level, that's cool for him.
Well, I remember DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell in the draft just falling, and we're sitting there like, are the Eagles about to just get the pick between the both of them? And then I think it was DeJean that fell past him, right?
Yeah, he was a second rounder.
Yeah, because he was 22 in this draft. Yeah,
I can't believe none of those good teams at the bottom didn't pick DeJean in the first.
Yeah, that is crazy to me. I think they were buying into the old narrative, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I really like this. Next, I have another guy who's going into his sophomore season. I think both of us had a lot of this in our breakouts. It's a lot of guys going into their second year.
Yeah.
That's T'Vondre Sweat. He was actually rated pretty high for PFF already, 14th overall. Him with Jeffrey Simmons, Seamus, is the Titans were a bad team last year, but they did well against the run. I think him and Jeffrey Simmons were the key parts of that.
Yeah, I think the Titans are a sneaky team that could win a lot more games than last year. I don't think they'll have a winning record by any means, but maybe 7 or 8 wins. They're in a horrible division, so they got players like this. T'Vondre he's just a monster in the mid, like 362. Like that's hard to move right there. That might be bigger than Jordan Davis?
Yeah, he ain't running faster than Jordan Davis, that's for sure. Hey, but look, this is the thing I like about the D-line, because if this was all run, that's the passing one. If this was all run, then me and you would be sitting here wondering if we should put him on this list, because that means he's just the run fit guy, the run stuffer, right? But dude, that's almost a 50-50 split, pass defense or pass run plays, dude.
Yeah.
So, and I know they'll be sharing with Simmons, but to know that they believe in him against the pass and the run, that leaves for a lot of potential and a high ceiling. So I like this pick as well. My next guy is Mustafa, man.
I like it.
If you watch this dude play, as a Niners fan, you should be excited. Hufunga's gone. He's on Denver. I wouldn't even miss him at this point. Obviously, it'd be nice to have both, but from the PFF, you could see that he's got a lot of versatility. Obviously, a lot of his time was spent at free safety, but I think with Hufunga being gone for good in an off season to practice in the box or slot corner, even you can see a lot of production at these different spots on the field. Um, for a round 4 pick and the physicality he plays with, that's what you want at safety. And what do you think, man?
Yeah, I saw clips of him and whatnot during the year last year, but this is what's going to keep the Niners afloat and relevant in the NFC for the next 5 years, I think, because they got so many dudes that are getting old and needing to get paid. So some dudes leaving, like you said, Hufunga, Dre Greenlaw. So hitting on a guy like Mustafa in the late rounds, mid rounds is huge, I think. And he definitely, I think the versatility is massive. And they got Robert Saleh back now, so their defense could go back to looking the way it did when it was kind of primed in that, I want to say 2021, 2020 season.
Well, we'll see what he does. I really like the way he plays, and we're going to go on to our next guy, and it's not a safety. It is a guy that we're awaiting to break out, and if he doesn't, we're going to be disappointed, and the Panthers might need to start panicking. And that's J.C. Horn. This dude has been battling injuries constantly, just like you said with Peyton Wilson. But
Yeah.
they've happened to this dude in the league. And I think I'm not getting discouraged by the 2024 grades. He was injured and he was trying to come back. And honestly, I feel like the Panthers, you would agree with me, they didn't find the rhythm till later on in the season.
Yeah, 100%.
I think with the offseason to kind of get the right amount of reps and just take it easy and get healthy and be ready for this next year. This is a make or break year for the Panthers. And I'm just sitting here flat out telling you this dude's going to be a dog. I think he's going to break out, and I think everyone has known that he's got it in him. We just got to see it, and I think we'll see it this next year.
Yeah, there's a reason that he was drafted over Pat Surtain. He has all the talent in the world, and I feel like he definitely made some good plays over the past couple of years and had good games and stuff. 2023, yeah, I kind of agree with PFF. He was solid. I mean, he got paid, so they believe in him, but you definitely want to see him take that next step and be an elite corner that we all kind of think he could be.
Yeah, no one forgets that he went above Pat. Like, we all remember the Panthers picking J.C. Horn and being like, what?
Yeah.
Like, maybe they were going corner, but we didn't think they would go J.C. Horn. So I think he's got something to prove despite that contract, and I'm excited to see what he does. This next guy, I don't know how much you know this next guy, Seamus. Ronnie Hickman Jr.
I've heard of him. I don't know too much.
Dude, PFF had him graded 14th overall, and he's over Grant Delpit by a lot, the other safety for the Browns.
Yeah.
Now, what I've been preaching in both our breakout teams is the fact that you can get production out of a guy in the late rounds. Well, Shames, this dude was just flat out undrafted.
Damn.
And sometimes you get a year out of an undrafted guy like this, like Jalen Warren. That's our undrafted guy we go to right now. But just like Jalen Warren, you see like a little bit of growth here. You get a 77 grade, and these type of numbers on a guy that's undrafted out of Ohio State. He's Ohio to Ohio, just like our Frazier guy. This is going to be the guy that the Madden rating adjusters we're going to be paying attention to see what they give this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only 23 and a half. These are the guys we like to see turn out, the undrafted guys. I'm excited to see what he does this next year. But in terms of breaking out, I think he's got it. And you see the flexibility on the depth chart on the field. So, let's see, my next guy.
Yeah, real quick, that's a
Yeah,
super under the radar guy too. That's a perfect breakout player right there because I didn't even know too much about him either, and he really seems like the Browns have kind of been producing a lot of good defensive players that kind of go under the radar. I feel like the past probably 5 years or something like that. So that I really think that's a good under the radar dude right there.
dude, and their defense is always flying around.
Yeah,
In fantasy football drafts, everyone's picking Browns defense. Like it seems to be a consistent thing, and I think they find guys like this dude that just ball. My next guy is Nolan Smith. I think Josh Sweat being gone, this dude has real potential to fill that role. I know Josh Sweat's an elite dude and should have won the MVP in the Super Bowl, in my opinion. PFF.
okay. This seems like a dude that could 100% break out because he's a Georgia dude, and like you said, he's filling a role. Because a lot of those Georgia players, I've preached this on our videos so far. I trust Georgia defenders, especially if you go to Philly.
Yeah, and Seamus, this dude has, honestly, from a PFF standpoint, this dude has all the things that scream breakout to me. You've got the growth in 1 year from here to here.
Yeah.
You've got run and pass. He's on the field for both. Trust me, coordinators know when they're about to get what. He's on the field for both, and you see he gets more snaps as the season goes on. You see that?
Yeah, that's huge.
And the special teams are there. So this dude's a team guy. No one liked playing special teams, but the guys who did were the great team players. That's Nolan Smith. And he has, look, you know how much they rotate? This dude is 27th. He doesn't even have a shit ton of snaps, in my opinion. And they're on D-line. That's what Sweat played. What they do, the four-man front against the Chiefs, man. But this dude's 6'2", 240.
And he ran a 4.39.
Yeah.
That's a Micah breed right there.
Yeah. This dude has the potential to break out for sure. My next guy is he's kind of already broken out, but he's kind of like Quinion Mitchell in the sense that he can take that potentially. This dude's definitely more established than Quinion Mitchell. Let's get that straight. But he has the potential to enter that top 5 conversation, and I'm talking about Nick Bonito. 13.5 sacks, third in sacks on the season last year. This dude, honestly, when I saw the grades, I was confused because as a Broncos fan, I watched every game, and I felt like he was always making plays, man.
Yeah.
And the coverage grade seemed to be like the least impressive thing about him when I was watching him, but that's their highest grade. And that's honestly what made me want to put him as a breakout, because the Broncos, for the first time, are truly playing for something now.
Yeah.
This is the most motivated I've ever seen this team. And you can best believe he's going to be working on getting all these things up right here. And regardless of if he becomes a top 5 guy, you're seeing the growth each year. This is consistency right here. He's going to be right here. What's that say right there, Seamus? 90.
90.
He's going to get a 90 grade next year. He is heavy on the pass. Yeah, he is heavy on the pass snaps. I'd like to see a better run defense. Obviously, he's rated 59. He's not doing great. But this dude is a dog, and I can't wait to see what he does next year.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, PFF, they watch all the tape and everything, but that's when the grades sometimes it feels almost as if you're just like, I don't care because this dude's always around the ball. You could have him lower, but I know that he was a little better. So I was impressed by him whenever I watched the Broncos. I think he had a couple pretty huge like sack games, didn't he?
Yeah, and honestly, I think the pressures were more impactful than the sacks.
Yeah.
That might sound crazy to say, but if you watch like that first Chiefs game at Arrowhead, this dude looked like Prime Bond there for a little bit. Like he was just flying, like the constant like pressure to Mahomes. Like this dude couldn't catch a break, and it was because of this guy. I know. Outside the recording, you mentioned Jonathan Cooper. He had 10 plus sacks, I believe, as well. I didn't see enough to want to put him on the video as a breakout. And honestly, I think his deal is almost up too. So, which could be a reason for a breakout is for him the ball, right? But I like Nick Benito, and I'm saving my favorite pick for last, Seamus, because I was really high on this guy last year, and he missed 11 games with a calf injury.
Okay.
Darius Robinson for the Cards.
Yeah.
I know Kyle's gonna like this one, man.
Yeah.
He's got the versatility to play inside and out. And I had to do some digging on PFF. He wasn't even ranked. And I know you see a 48 and you're like, Dylan, come on, bro. But anybody that watched him play at Mizzou knows this dude has that high motor that you want from a defensive lineman. 6'5", almost 300. He was picked 27th by the Cardinals last year. Don't think they just forgot about him. Don't think they just got a calf injury and they're like, whatever, this dude didn't develop how he wanted.
Absolutely not.
PFF gave him a 48. You might as well quit on him.
Get him.
No,
Get him off fucking team.
Yeah, this dude, Shaven, this is the most excited I am about anybody in terms of breakouts. On guys going in their sophomore year, I think this dude can go so much higher than 48. He may be a breakout this time next year for us, Seamus, because he'll be like a 70 at least this year, and then it's going to be that Nick Benito jump. So I don't know, we'll see. But
yeah, it's interesting too for me because they just got Sweat from the Eagles, and I don't think that the Cards have had a good D-line in a minute if I like thinking back about it. And if this dude can break out, I think that would be huge for the Cards defense. There's just a lot of players that I think have potential, and they have a defensive head coach too. And after that video that came out, that was super just weird and all that. Everyone kind of thought he was a joke, but I think Jonathan Gannon is a solid coach, so I could see him getting a lot out of Darius Robinson, 100%.
Yeah, and here's the final defense. I'm gonna show you Mustafa's beautiful face. We're gonna be live streaming, like we said, on Friday, the second round. If you stuck around, thank you. Subscribe. Hit the bell icon, so they say. Me and Seamus, we're trying to get on a roll here.
Yep, trying to be consistent. Do all that stuff. Thank you for watching. If you did, in the offensive video, we'll put the time of the second round and when we'll start streaming it on Friday. And just tune in. And thank you.
Yeah, I know we have mainly the homies watching this. Let's get more than one comment on someone we missed in this, man. Let's get somebody that's breaking out that me and Seamus don't know about. Let us know.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.